Vince McMahon had a large run as the chairman of WWE. And throughout that run, he has worked with several WWE superstars, and there are some superstars whom he had developed a great relationship, such as The Rock, The Undertaker, John Cena, and Trish Stratus. But on the contrary, there have been some superstars Vince disliked personally. Hey, how's it going? It is Wrestler Artist here, and we are going to be looking at top 10 WWE superstars Vince personally hated. And so let's dive into it. Number 10 is Scot Stainer. When Stainer first joined WWE, he had a healthy working relationship with Vince McMahon. He would be booked in high-profile feuds and matches such as with Triple H, but apparently his quality of work was kind of bit poor, that Vince decided to not to have him in any other high-profile matches. Since then, the relationship between two had been sold, and Stainer eventually left WWE in 2004. Ever since his release, Stainer had never set foot in WWE again. He worked in other promotions like TNA Impact. When he asked about the relationship with the WWE boss, Stainer never held back of his words and verbally beaten McMahon and his family whenever he got the chance. Number 9. Cedric Alexander. The former 205 Live star Cedric Alexander apparently has a rocky relationship with Vince McMahon. Despite being heavily talented, he has been moved down to roster and is barely used in the main roster. It all began when Cedric refused to follow a direction order from McMahon, and that marked the beginning of the end of Cedric. He was eventually made a part of the stable called the Hurt Business, which was really popular at that time, and right now also, which was broken after some time. It was also reported in 2018 that Vince McMahon wanted to bury Cedric Alexander as much as possible in the match against AJ Styles. Number 8. Jeff Jarrett. It is largely believed that the existence of TNA can be credited to the mutual hostility between Jeff Jarrett and Vince McMahon. The moment Vince McMahon purchased WCW, Jeff Jarrett was left a major platform to wrestle on. Jarrett was not delusional to the fact that Vince McMahon would never be willing to do business with him after he decided to create his own company. The most heated exchange shared between McMahon and Jarrett came in 1999 when Jarrett essentially blackmailed McMahon into paying him a large sum of money to perform. Somehow the company had to allow Jarrett to remain the WWE Intercontinental Champion up until the day his contract expired, at which point he would make the move to WCW. Did Vince Serious not learn anything from Survivor Series 1997? McMahon wanted Jarrett to drop the belt to China at No Mercy PPV. Only his contract was set to end the day before the event. The time WWE had finally leaped ahead of WCW in rating war, so the idea of Jarrett being able to take the Intercontinental title with him to McMahon's biggest rival would have been a huge blow to WWE. So McMahon hesitantly agreed to pay Jeff Jarrett the money he requested, and the pair have been unwilling to do the business ever since. Number 7. Rusev. One of the most surprising names on the list is former WWE superstar Rusev. When Rusev was introduced, he was nothing more than just a silent brute who did less talking and more punching. Nevertheless, his character was initially disliked by fans. However, Rusev started displaying his charisma later that year. The WWE Universe got a glimpse of that when he came with the Rusev Day gimmick. As a result, they showed a further some love and support to Russian superstar. Moreover, he would widely become popular and his gimmick too. Whenever he appeared, the arena would be explode with huge pops. Apparently, this was something that Vince disliked. He thought that fans were mocking Rusev and that no one really truly liked him. But Rusev would go on to become one of the most popular and loved superstars on the roster. This further upset McMahon and their working relationship soared, once asking for his release. As a result, he would eventually release in 2020. Number 6. Randy Savage. The Macho Man Randy Savage has been one of the most popular superstars and the biggest draws for WWE in 80s and 90s. Initially, he had a great working relationship with Vince McMahon. However, it all changed in 90s when Vince McMahon had a different vision for him. Vince McMahon wanted Randy Savage to do commentary instead of wrestling. The former WWE chairman was on the notion that Savage was too old to wrestle. However, the Macho Man believed that he had a lot more to offer in the ring. Despite being at his 40s at the time when Savage left WWE to join WCW in 1994, it was believed that he was banned from WWE and Vince wanted nothing to do with him. Number 5. Dusty Rhodes. When Dusty Rhodes joined WWE in 1989, he had already a household name. It was reported that when he first joined the company, Vince wanted to have him dressed like a polka dot costume. Seemingly, Vince was never a fan of Dusty Rhodes' work and wanted to embarrass him as much as possible. WWE legend would later go to be heavily involved in WWE management. He was particularly involved in NXT where he helped develop lots of talent. However, his relationship with Vince McMahon never improved. Before Gail Kim. Former WWE star Gail Kim is another superstar who Vince displeased for no actual reason. However, she was a talented superstar. Seemingly, Vince wasn't a fan of her appearance. This killed any and every opportunity for Gail Kim to move forward in WWE. After her release, she publicly spoke against Vince McMahon, calling him a jerk at the same point. She also shared some multiple horrible stories about working relationship with Vince McMahon, the boss. Number 3. Cesaro. Despite being one of the most talented superstars, Vince McMahon disliked Cesaro. On his Stone Cold broadcast, Vince confirmed that he didn't like Cesaro. Vince believed that Cesaro wasn't a big draw and that wouldn't bring enough money for WWE. For a boss publicly degrade his employee isn't a good look for anyone. Although WWE would sometimes give Cesaro some kind of push, that would eventually fall flat, with Cesaro losing more often than not. Cesaro eventually decided to leave WWE in 2021 and go to AEW. Number 2. Christian. One of the prominent names that impressed the fans in WWE was Christian. Although Christian was a talented in-ring performer, Vince McMahon disliked him due to his appearances as well. Seemingly, the former WWE CEO was a fan of larger-than-life figures such as The Undertaker and Triple H. However, Christian was one of those superstars that fans loved, but Vince McMahon had different thoughts. There were rumors that McMahon even wanted to place a blue dot on the screen over Christian's face so that he would not have to personally look at him. This might be the reason Christian decided to join AEW in 2021. Number 1. CM Punk. Throughout his career, Vince McMahon never liked CM Punk. When he first debuted, Vince McMahon didn't get what his character actually was. The two had a lot of public fallout, while Punk creating a ton of controversy while WWE as well. One of those controversial moments in WWE was CM Punk's pipe bomb which shocked the company to its deep core. It was later released in 2014 and he even got his release paper on the wedding day. Although Vince McMahon proclaimed that it wasn't initial, it was clear that he wanted CM Punk to feel bad as possible on his happiest day. When it was announced that Punk was returning to wrestling, it was reported that Vince had zero interest in bringing him back. The top 10 superstars Vince disliked. So subscribe.